Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. My name is Emma and welcome to Yoga for Grief or Loss. So moving through grief or loss is always a really painful process, and no one is really exempt from this. Whether we are healing from a broken heart or from loss of losing a loved one, it's a really painful process to move through. Sitting with our grief and loss can be the most challenging things to do, especially when it comes to coming back to the mat. We tend to avoid this, to push this away, to run away from this. So this practice is all about holding the heart no matter how fragmented it may feel at the moment. Feelings might get quite intense, you might feel the need to cry and tears might flow, but no, this is absolutely okay. Give yourself permission to hit pause, to step aside, to take a deep breath of air if that's what you're needing right here and now. For this practice, I also encourage you to find as many props as you can, whatever you can use to support you. So for today, I've got a pillow, a blanket, and also a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, go ahead and grab 2, 3, 4 pillows. The more the better. We'll be coming back into the body throughout this practice in a really, really gentle way. So the more props you have to support you, the better. So when you're ready, you can close down the eyes, soften the shoulders, ground through the sit bones. Find this correct alignment of the spine as you draw the shoulders back and stack the heart and head over the hips here. Just take a moment to drop into the body. When we're moving through grief or loss or pain, we tend to spend a lot of the time in the mind with these memories. But right here and now, I invite you to tap into this intuition of the body. So notice how the sit bones feel as you connect them a little deeper with the earth. How the legs feel as you soften and relax into them. Release the shoulders, find length in the spine here. Soften the skin of the face. Take a moment to check in with how your body is feeling here and now. Are there any particular sensations that stand out for you? Any aches or pains? And just physically in the body here. Can you isolate and notice any of these aches or pains or sensations? Drawing your awareness to any mental sensations here, any particular thoughts or patterns or processes. And often when we move through trauma or experiencing great loss or pain, we can often replay a lot of these thoughts or memories in our mind, and maybe this is true for you. And if it is, this is okay, just noticing here whatever does come up. Pay particular attention to the clarity and quality of these thoughts, the consistency, the volume. And then finally, drawing your awareness to the heart space, noticing this space right in the center of the chest. And these sensations here might be the strongest and the loudest for you right now. Give yourself a moment to really tap into these, to tune into these, to notice these. Even if it is a little painful here, can you sit with that? Just letting it be. Let's take the hands right to the center of the chest here, one hand over the other, feeling the beating of the heart, the flow of the breath. Dedicating this practice to a loved one today. Finding a full breath in. Good. Exhale, release the hands to the knees, keeping the eyes closed. We're going to start off with a breathing technique here, pranayama. Nothing fancy or complicated. Let's just start off with noticing the flow of the breath, how it's moving for you. If you have been feeling any anxiety in the body lately, you might have been noticing some quite shallow, sharp breaths. This is completely natural, but and we start to invite a slower pace into the breath here. So just breath by breath, start to invite this air deeper into the belly. So really feeling that navel rise with each inhale. And finding a long, slow, passive exhale out. Good. Just continuing here your own pace, no forcing, no pushing. Just staying with your organic rhythm and making each breath that fraction longer, fraction deeper. Know that staying within this safe realm of expanding the breath does two things. It allows us to stay in a safe space, but also helps us with switching into this parasympathetic state, this relaxation response. Good, and when you're ready, we're going to apply a count of the breath, counting back from 27. On your next inhale, silently repeating the words, I am breathing in 27. As you exhale, silently repeating the words, I am breathing out 27. Inhale, I am breathing in 26. Exhale, I am breathing out 26. Inhale, I am breathing in 25. Exhale, I am breathing out 25. Inhale, I am breathing in 24. Exhale, I am breathing out 24. Inhale, I am breathing in 23. Exhale, I am breathing out 23. Inhale, I am breathing in 22. Exhale, I am breathing out 22. Inhale, I am breathing in 21. Exhale, I am breathing out 21. Inhale, I am breathing in 20. And exhale, I am breathing out 20. And just continuing here, silently repeating that mantra and the counting, going in your own pace. No rushing or racing here. See if you can still find that full extension of the breath. Making your way back to 0. And if you do find that your mind does wander or you lose the count, this is okay. But let's start back at 27. Mind has wandered, can you very gently, very kindly guide it back to the count and the flow of the breath? With each inhale and exhalation, you can visualize the air traveling through the nose, the back of the throat, the chest and the belly. And then as you exhale back out, belly, chest, throat and nose. Soften the shoulders, relax the skin of the face. the mind has wandered, gently guide it back, starting back at 27. Wherever you are in the count of the breath, begin to let that go. Let go the need to finish or the need to be somewhere. This practice of aparigraha, letting go, and returning the breathing to natural. And take a moment to notice the rhythm of the breath now. Has it altered? Has it changed? Has it expanded? Maybe there's a little more space in the lungs, or perhaps this is in the mind for you. When you're ready, take a full breath in through the nose, full cleansing breath. Open the mouth, exhale, release. Good. When you're ready, gently fluttering the eyes open. Take your time here. If you are in a comfortable seat here, I invite you to swap over the legs just so we can open into the opposite hip. And let's start off with a few Sufi rolls here. So just opening into the hips and the back body. Take these as gentle or as easy as you'd like. If this is your first time coming back into the mat for a while, or even finding any kind of movement, it's likely that you're going to be feeling some stagnation in the hips or the back body. So close down the eyes, feel into this. Go as fast or as slow as you like, as wide as you like, change directions as much as you like. You might take it all the way into the neck. Good, and then inhale back to center. Let's take a deep breath in, interlace the fingers. Draw them to shoulder height, up to the collarbones, and as you exhale, round through the back. Release the head. Broadening into the back body here, feeling the shoulder blades protract. Inhale, reach the fingertips high, find length. And as you exhale, let's circle the wrists down. Find a twist here out to your right side. Take the left hand to the right knee, soften the shoulders down the back. And keep this as gentle as you like here. Let's go for 5 deep breaths. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. As you exhale, soften into this twist. 4. 3. 2. 1. Good. Inhale back to center. Let's swap the feet over once more. Go for your Sufi rolls. Close down the eyes. Finding any mindful, intuitive movement here. So this might feel quite intense for you. It might feel like absolutely nothing. The idea here is that we're really focusing on this opening and lubrication into the joints more than anything as a warm-up. Good. Inhale back to center. Let's do that circle of joy once more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, rotating out to your left side this time. So let's find our 5 breaths here. Imagine your spine as a spiral staircase, starting from the base, making your way to the top. So allow that lower part of the spine, the lumbar spine, to be the first. The thoracic spine loves to twist on top, but can we extend this opening all throughout the back here? Allow the shoulders to be the last to turn. And the cervical spine, the neck, to be the last to turn those last few breaths. Good. Inhale back to center. You can take a little wriggle, a little rock. Good job. So we're going to settle into some restorative postures here with our props. Go ahead and find your child's pose, extended child's pose. So taking the knees quite wide here, finding a width that works for you. If you have a bolster, you can place this in between the thighs. Otherwise, go ahead and stack 2, 3, 4, 5 pillows if you have them on top of each other. We're looking for this support of the belly and the chest. I even like to create a little incline here, so you might do that with another pillow underneath. You can rest the belly, rest the head, and we're going to turn the gaze over to any side to begin with. You can either reach the hands forward or use them as a little cushion under the head here. And what you're hopefully noticing is this really beautiful opening into the ankles, the hips, perhaps a little into the back body or the shoulders. So very gentle, very nurturing. When it comes to matters of the heart, we have this tendency to fold inwards and protect the heart, to come into these forward folds. So child's pose can be this really beautiful pose to be held, to feel safe to soften into, to experience these sensations and emotions that do arise. Stay with the breath here, any tension that you may notice in the shoulders or the jaw or the face. Invite a little softness in with the inhales, a little space. And with the exhales, offer this sense of release, this letting go. There's no need for you to activate any muscles here or run through any to-do lists or anything like that. Your only job here is to decompress, to soften inwards. This might take a little time, but know you have all the time in the world. When it comes to healing the heart, there are no shortcuts or quantum leaps. This does take time. When you're ready, take a deep breath in, lift the head, and turning the gaze to the opposite side. And just take a moment to notice how this side feels in comparison. Maybe it's a little tighter. Maybe there's any particular sensations or restraints in the neck on this side. Maybe it feels exactly the same. Maybe it feels a little better. Focus that breath way into the lower belly, but particularly into the sides and way into the back body, right into the lower back of the pelvis here. Filling up just like you're filling up a balloon. A long, steady exhale. Last 5 deep breaths. Good. When you're ready, gently walk the hands back, lift the chest. This time, let's tuck the toes under here. And just take a moment in the seats. The shoulders drawn back. Let's take a few little neck rolls here, releasing the neck. Any direction is fine. Good, and then let's set up for our sleeping pigeon pose. So bolster or pillows works really great for this one too. We'll start off in our tabletop pose. Draw the right knee directly behind the right wrist. Walk that left knee back. So ideally here what we're looking to do is support the pelvis and the lower back as much as possible by squaring the hips. For you, this might even mean taking a little bit of support under that left sit bone. Don't worry about where this front shin bone is at the moment. The traditional sense of the pose is that it's in line with the short edge of the mat, but of course not always possible. And we're looking for this really gentle, supportive posture today. So set your bolster or your pillows up however you like. When you're ready, take a deep breath in. Exhale, walk the hands forwards and soften in. Turn your head to any side, any direction which feels right for you. What's most important in this pose is that you do feel supported and comfortable. Today this might be a pose that you can quite easily drop into, or maybe one that is a little bitter. There's quite a lot going on in this pose, stretching into these exterior or external rotators of the hip. But we're also getting this beautiful stretch into the left hip flexors here, specifically this iliac psoas muscle, the muscle of the soul. And then if we look at this energetically, this is one of our muscles that is responsible for holding and harboring negative emotions like lust, fear, guilt, sadness. Believe that this is why this muscle can get so tight. It's our body's junk drawer in a way. And this is why sometimes releasing into it can be a really emotional space to be in. So if anything does come up for you, breathe through it, sit through it, stay with it. You can walk the hands a little further forwards here, soften in that a little bit more. Just letting this pose take you wherever it is you need to go. Let's find another 10 deep breaths here. Adding those last few breaths. And when you are ready, gently walking the hands back, lifting the chest. Tuck those left toes under, draw the left knee forwards, find your way back to tabletop. Take a little shimmy here, rock the hips. Draw circles with the hips, sit it back to child's pose, whatever's feeling good. You might even like to extend through that right leg, really give that hip a stretch out. Find a twisted tabletop. Good, and when you're ready, let's set up for the opposite side. Draw that left knee behind the left wrist. Walk that right knee back. Use any props you did on the first side. And softening inwards once more. So I'm definitely noticing this side is a little tighter. And so I'm gonna go ahead and stay on my elbows until I do soften inwards. This might be the same for you, or maybe this is your more dominant, more flexible side. And as you do find space, you can continually rotate that left hip back, right hip forwards, just squaring the pelvis a little more, supporting the lower spine. And whenever you're ready, softening into a variation that works for you. Focus on letting go here, all the organs melting to the floor. Any sensations that do arise, these physical, mental, emotional, take a moment to sit with them, to be with them, to process them. As human beings, we get so good at running away and avoiding, compartmentalizing, procrastinating. But right here with this practice, can you do the opposite? So it's not always so much about these postures, but also about these mindfulness-based practices we have for self-healing and self-transformation, self-regulation. Your last 10 deep breaths. Last few breaths. When you are ready, gently walking the hands back, lifting the chest, taking a moment to release. And then let's start to make our way onto our backs to close in Savasana. I recommend bolster or a pillow directly under the backs of the thighs here. A little pillow under the head, maybe a blanket over the body. So set this up for your yummiest Savasana yet, however this looks for you. If you have a little bit of weight, whether this be a pillow or a blanket, you can go ahead and place this on the belly here. So similar idea to weighted blankets. And then just a little bit of height underneath the knees helps to relax those iliac psoas muscles again. Draw the shoulder blades down the back, and let's take a few deep breaths here, finishing with some progressive muscle relaxation. So on your next deep inhale, start to squeeze the toes, the feet, the calves, the thighs, the belly, the chest, the arms, the fists, the face, squeezing as tight as you can. Exhale, release. Good. Second round, inhale. Squeeze the toes, the feet, the calves, the thighs, the belly, the chest, the arms, the fists, the face, intentionally squeezing and tightening. Exhale, release. Last breath, deep inhale. Squeeze the toes, the feet, the calves, the thighs, the belly, the chest, the arms, the fists, the face. Exhale, let it go. Draw the shoulder blades down the back once more. Maybe take the feet a little wider here. Feel the lower back ground into the mat. Soften all 10 toes. Relax the kneecaps. Feel the pelvis grow heavy. Feel every organ in the torso drop to the floor. Every rib in the rib cage soften. And the shoulder heads roll back, the chest and heart to open. Relaxing the jaw, the lips, the nose, the cheeks, the eyes. And feeling everything drop and ground down here. And we'll finish our practice today with a future self meditation. So here I would like you to visualize yourself in a happy place, a place you know quite well, a place that's familiar, but a place that is associated with new beginnings. And this could be a place you have been to before, or a place you'd like to visit in the future. What is the day like in this particular place? Are there any particular scents you can smell? And in this particular place on the horizon, you notice a figure walking towards you. And it's with this shadow that you feel this sense of ease. And as this particular person draws near you, notice the colors becoming a little more vibrant, and the sounds becoming a little more clearer. As this person comes closer and closer, you can see their outline, but you can't quite make out who it is. Your mind starts to race through possible people this could be that you know, or that you used to know. But as this person comes into focus, you realize that it's not someone you know at all, and that this particular person is in fact you. However, you notice this person to be a little different to the person you know here and now. There's a few more lines and wrinkles on the face. You realize this is yourself in 1 or 5 or 20 years' time. And this person not only looks different, but feels different too. There's a sense of lightness and happiness about them. You know you don't have much time with this person, but there's nothing that is actually or that needs to be said here. This person embraces you in a warm hug, and you feel this unwavering trust that absolutely everything is going to be okay. And your future self makes you feel at home, feel okay, and feel loved. As your future self releases you and begins to walk away, they leave you with this unwavering sense of trust that everything will be okay. As you start to leave this place of new beginnings, making your way back onto the mat, you invite a deeper breath, a little movement into the tips of the fingers, the tips of the toes, and take your time here to transition back. When you're ready, you can take a stretch of your head, deep inhale, making your way to a comfortable seat. Keeping the eyes closed, and drawing the hands to the heart. And let's go ahead and place them right over the center of the chest again, just the same way we began. Take these last few moments to check in with how you're feeling here and now. Any subtle shifts in the body and the mind and the heart. And a little reminder here that no matter how challenging things can get, no matter how isolated we can feel at times, you always have this space to return to. Finding one last full breath in and a full breath out. And drawing your palms together, thumbs to third eye. From my heart to yours, namaste. Hi you guys, thank you so much for joining me for this practice of yoga for loss or grief. I hope your heart is feeling a little more held. Please, please, please be gentle with yourself for the next 24 hours. If you enjoyed this practice, I would so appreciate if you could share this, give it a thumbs up, or leave a little comment below on your experience. Namaste.